Hello everybody, I'd like to speak to you today about holding your plectrum and your right hand. A lot of problems can be traced back to the way that you hold your plectrum and the way you practice your right hand. And you're probably struggling to pick properly and pick fast due to a lack of understanding how to practice. And in this short video clip, I would like to talk about this. Now firstly, I've also made an article called 7 Steps to Developing a Great Right Hand Technique, and that article is available on my website, and just look below the link. You can go there and you can read the article. It's pretty much similar to what we're discussing here, but I recommend going there, reading it, printing it out and studying it in order to develop a better right hand. Okay, so the first thing I want to speak about is the way that you hold your plectrum. You are most probably, first of all, holding your plectrum in the complete wrong way. When you strum the guitar, you can hold it in any way you like, basically, but when you do picking, especially fast picking, there is an optimum way to hold your plectrum. Now, if you are very advanced and you're watching this video, you may hold it in a different way, and of course there are always exceptions to the rule, so I am not in any way saying that this is the only way that you should hold your plectrum. However, I have seen most guitarists who are successful, including John Patitucci, John McLaughlin, Ingrid Malmsteen, Sean Lane and many others, hold the plectrum in a similar fashion. So firstly, here's the pick. What you don't want to do is just hold it here between the thumb and the index loosely like this. There's not enough grip on that, and then that will not give you enough, it won't give you enough power to play fast, because what you could do in that case is using the fingers instead of the wrist. Now I know a number of guitarists who do get it right to play very fast using this, but this is what I would recommend, and I'm going to come closer to the camera so you can see this well. I recommend, and I'm coming towards the camera, putting your index finger like this, putting that there, and you get this sort of grip, okay? You see this grip? Like this. Now it can be slightly loose, it can come up a little bit, but the idea is that you can have a fast line with, if this is the string here, that you can have a fast line with a string like that. As opposed to that, you don't want to do that, because if you do that, you're probably going to end up playing with the fingers instead of playing with the wrist action. So that is the way I would recommend holding the plectrum. That's very important. If you hold the plectrum in that manner, you're really going to be well on your way to playing better. It may feel a bit weird. Just the way to do it, let me just show you again. Put your first finger here, your index finger, put the plectrum on top of it, and the thumb grips it like that. Now it doesn't need to be super stiff. Some people like it all the way like this, some people more like this, but the idea is this is the kind of look that you want to go for. And then if these are the strings, then you can practice across the strings like that. Okay, many different kind of exercises. I teach a number of proprietary exercises to my students, and I must tell you that the ones who do practice that, they definitely after a while get a great right hand technique. It is not something that comes quickly, but it does come. Okay, we'll go on to the next point now. The second thing I want to talk about is practicing your right hand separate from your left. Now you see guitarists, they play, and when they pick here, they're always looking at this hand, okay? No one is really paying attention to this. So what I do with my guitar students, and I tell them, you've got to practice the right hand alone. In fact, I recommend practicing at least 15 to 20 minutes only on the right hand with a metronome. Let me just see where my metronome is, 1 second. A little metronome like this device is wonderful. You just put it on 60 beats a minute, and down, up, down, up, down, up, and then you can go down, up, down, up, down, up. Then you can go down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, then down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, etc. And there are a number of proprietary exercises that I do have available for practicing your right hand alone. And once again, it's one of those things, if you do it and you're faithful with it, and when I say faithful, I don't mean faithful in 1 week, faithful over a number of years. You don't develop a great right hand technique in a week. You will definitely play the guitar in the way that you want to. Okay, and now I'd like to speak about the next point, which is you need to understand the power of compound interest. Now this is actually a financial term, and this term, I like this term because when you look at things financially, you can look at it scientifically, and a lot of times in music we look at things from an artistic point of view, and that doesn't always help us to progress. So if we look at the concept of compound interest would be that you start here and you earn a little bit of interest on that principal. But the next year you're earning interest on the principal plus the interest. The year after, the principal plus the new interests. And it just grows and grows and grows and grows and grows until you've got something very large. Now it's exactly the same with the picking technique. You start small and you build. And the way that you build compound interest with picking is by not missing your daily picking sessions. If you miss them on a daily basis, that's when the compound interest is not going to work so well for you. But if every day you do down, up, and you practice successfully, you practice diligently, then you will get to the power of compound interest, the power of explosion eventually. And I've seen with a number of my students that when after a number of months or so, something just seems to explode. The hand is just going faster, better, they're missing the strings less, there's more accuracy, and it's all due to compound practice and diligence. They're also getting good input, they're getting good quality input, which I'm doing my best to help them develop their playing, but then they do private practice, and that's where the success comes. When everything comes together and you go, an explosion that comes. We'll go on to the next point now. So next I'd like to speak about this, is logging your speed in your own journal. Now, first of all, do not let this put you off. Because when I say journal, I am not talking about the fact that you need to practice and then write something, practice and write something. Nothing of that sort. I'm talking about a simple A5, preferably little book that you buy, maybe a Moleskine. I know my wife loves the Moleskine books. Something nice that's special to you. And you buy that book and then you write 1 or 2 exercises in there, maybe a chromatic scale, maybe a legato technique. Just 2 exercises, and you measure the speed over a year. And you write your new speed down every now and again. So it can be every week, every 2 weeks, every 3 or 4 days. You don't have to have a set schedule. If you're the kind of person who likes something set, you can work out something set. The point is you measure the speed and you do it in 2 columns. Column number 1 is a rough sound. So what do I get at a rough sound? Actually, no, I would say column number 1 should be a clean sound. Okay, at a clean sound, what speed do I get? So let's say you put the metronome at 120 beats per minute, triplets, then you write 120 and you write triplet. And then the rough speed, maybe you get 145 and you write that triplet. Then you come back 2-3 weeks later and you write it down. And you'll be surprised if you do this time upon time, this is what will happen. 120 triplet, so 120 beats a minute. 135 triplet, let's say 3 weeks later. 130, sometimes you go down a bit, triplet. Then 140, then 145, 150, 140, 150, 155, 160, 170. After a year, you went from 120 to 170. That's a massive, 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 massive increase in music playing. And you know what? You can do it. But just this is bringing me to my next point. But just before we get there, you've got to journal. You have to journal. You have to write it down. If you're not at the stage where you don't want to journal at the moment, you don't have to. But if you get frustrated with your playing, you feel you can't go forward, start to journal. And here's one of my favorite things. The next point is you have to believe in yourself. If you don't believe in yourself, nobody else will. Now, if you have a problem believing in yourself, get a great mentor, get someone to help you believe in yourself. But you know, the truth is, this world, this whole world that we live in, it doesn't belong to anybody. I know we have kings and queens and presidents and country leaders, but they don't own the world. We individually own the world. We all own a part of this world, and it's up to us. Anything that's in your mind, you can see the earth just behind me here, anything that's inside of your mind that you want to get right on this earth, you can do. Whatever goal or vision you've got, nothing is impossible. You can go to the highest heights, and it's the same with your guitar playing. You can play at tremendous speeds. Do not let the idea of I'm too old, I'm too that, don't let any of that stuff hold you back. Because you know the truth is people have been lying to you. And through the years people have said, you know, you can't learn, you're an adult. You can't do that, you are that. You can't do that. Don't listen to any of those people. Surround yourself with listen to Tony Robbins. Surround yourself with someone like that. Get great material into your ears and then throw out all the other junk, and you see the earth behind you? That will become yours, and you can take it over. You can do whatever you want to on this planet. It's yours for the taking. You are the most important person alive for you, because you're watching this video in order to benefit from something for you, and that's good because we're all here for ourselves. Although I would always recommend being generous and helping others and doing great things. But the truth is we are here for ourselves and our family, and of course we have to be there for others. But I'm just trying to say, broaden your vision, go higher. Don't believe the story of, I'm just here, I live in the UK, I'm under this, this person's here, this. No, none of that. Go to the highest heights that you can go. And you know, what you can achieve is infinite. Brian Tracy himself said that you've got more than 200 lifetimes of intelligence within your head. That within you, if you used all the power, nobody will be able to touch you, because we've got so much power in our head. But you must practice and you must do all of those things diligently. So believe in yourself, you can do it. Believe in your guitar playing, practice, and yes, you will fall, and sometimes you will not get it right. And that's when you will feel, oh, it doesn't work. But remember, when I say believe, I generally speak over a term. You cannot become great in a week. You need to put the time in. It might take a year, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, 5. You know, it doesn't matter. Even 5 years, it may seem long, but by the 3rd year, there's only 2 left. So you can do it. You're the success busy happening. And I believe that you will go to great lengths, but you've got to believe it too. And once again, if you struggle to believe it and you struggle to have the mindset to believe in yourself, get somebody who can help you. Because there are people. Listen to Tony Robbins, listen to Brian Tracy. They'll be able to help you to get there. I'll go on to the next point now. Okay, so at this little point here that I'm going to make, it's important that if ever your hands is hurting, if you're playing and you're feeling an ache or anything like that, you've got to take a break. Remember, your hands, it's a physical thing like sport. Take a break, stop playing. If your hands hurt, never ever push yourself. But this little exercise that I'm going to give you now is one of the greatest secrets to getting success in your right hand. You've got to play faster than you can play for short bursts of time, with the hope of eventually reaching that level. So if you're here today, you want to reach this level, push yourself and play that level. It's going to sound horrible, you're going to miss the strings, but it will eventually get you to go to that level. And do it for short periods of time only. Let's say you can play at 150 beats per minute, semiquavers. That's quite a speed already, but you want to reach 200. Just for a short time, play at 180. And just when you do this, please, please, please relax. Make sure you're relaxed. If you must take Alexander technique to learn how to relax, do that. If you must see an osteopath, a physiotherapist, do that. But make sure your hands are relaxed. You don't want to overdo it or hurt your hands. And if you did too much, take a break from guitar playing. But this is very important, to play faster than you can for a short period of time. When I say faster, I mean sloppy, and then you clean it up. There's a great video, one of my favorite guitarists, from Sean Lane called, if you type Sean Lane speed into the YouTube, you will hear him speak about speed. And in that video, he speaks about how to develop massive and incredible speeds. I would really recommend watching that, because that's going to help you as well. It's got the same concept of playing faster than you can, short periods of time, and if you do this every now and again, eventually you'll get that feeling, because you know, okay, if I say, play faster than you can, it's in one go, play faster than you can. I'm not saying P, L, A, Y, F, A, S, T, E. I'm not saying that, it's one go, play faster than you can. And it's the same when they play, when they play something very fast, it's in one go, it's one movement. And that's the idea with this, is to get that one movement feeling. It's actually, they don't think fast, they think they think one, and they play 7 or 8. So that's the secret. Do that every now and again, and that will help you to go to the next stage. Okay, we'll go to the last point now. Persist, and eventually you will succeed. And in this little in my article, I wrote about Warren Buffett, who at a young age started to hand out newspapers, and you know, he just faithfully handed out these newspapers and did various other businesses, and by the time he left school, he had about, let's say, $100,000, $110,000 in today's value. And that's also being faithful, and eventually he bought the Washington Post, the very company that he handed out the newspapers for. So it's through persistence, and he started at the beginning, it was many years. So it's the same thing here, you've got to persist with your picking. Down, up, down, up, up, down, up, down. Daily, 10 minutes a day, 20 minutes a day. If you want to become even better than that, 60 minutes a day, 90 minutes a day. Put the time in, do the effort, and just go for it. You know what? You will become great. If you persist, if you do it every single day, and if you take my word up on this, do it for 2 years, non-stop, 6 days a week, 20 minutes, and come back to me after this video and tell me if it's not working. But I'm sure it will work. And lastly, I just want to tell you something, that If you want to become extraordinary in your playing, remember, do things that ordinary people will not do. In order to become extraordinary, you need to go that extra mile, and you will be rewarded faithfully. It was a real pleasure to speak to you today, and I wish you the greatest success in your guitar journey. Goodbye.